in Riviera Beach.
For life's aches and pains, choose Blue Emu Continuous Pain Relief Spray. It works fast, and it's easy to use. Designed to work odor-free in all those remote areas. It works here. It's odor-free here. It works here. Blue Emu Continuous Pain Relief Spray. Fast-acting, easy-to-use, odor-free pain relief for all those remote areas. Available at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and other fine retailers.
Listen up very carefully. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. I can't even believe that it's almost Thanksgiving, but it is. If you want to look 10 or 15 years younger, around the dinner table, then you need to pick up the phone and order Esotique XV. The results are brilliant. The results are quick. Donna in Delray says, I love Chamonix products. They absorb nicely without residue. I look at least 10 years younger than women my age. Esotique XV is better than anything you can find in department stores. Why? Because of the plant stem cells, the natural peptides, the hyaluronic acid, and flower extracts. Amazing ingredients in a proprietary base delivery system that guarantees quick, clean absorption for maximum results. It's simply brilliant, effective, and it's fast. 800-443-5109. 800-443-5109. So you could try Esotique XV for yourself today. Listen, you're going to see and feel the difference very quickly. If you don't, you get your money back, no questions asked. Call now, and for the first time, you'll get Genucelf of Bags and Puffiness free when you say, Rich Stevens told me to call. 800-443-5109. 800-443-5109. You got to try Esotique XV. Risk-free today. 800-443-5109. That's 800-443-5109.
ADT presents What to Consider When Considering Home Security. An ADT sign is more than a sign. It's a line in the sand. On one side, your family. On the other, an uncertain world.
For over 140 years, more people have chosen ADT to help prevent crime than anyone else. Get ADT starting at just $28.99 a month.
Tested, trusted, proven ADT.
With 36-month contract for licensing and terms and conditions, visit ADT.com.
This is Michael Savage with news, views, and unprotected talk on the Savage Nation. Weekdays at 3, right after Joyce Kaufman on News Talk 850 WFTL.
I'm meteorologist Chris Farrell for CBS 12 News, and a nice Monday underway. Our skies mostly sunny today, finally back in the sunshine. Still breezy, with the east wind at 15 to 20 miles an hour and higher gusted times. The high day near 85. Tonight partly cloudy, 75. Tuesday mostly sunny, a little breezy with northeast wind at 20, and the high on Tuesday, 85.
Live from the Crash Proof Retirement Show studios, Phil Cannella and Joanne Small have your market crash prevention plan. Saturdays at 10 a.m. on News Talk 850 WFTL.
Ladies and gentlemen, you ready for the big show?
Ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Ready. You're ready for the party? Go!
Opinionated, informed, and unafraid. This is The Rich Stevens Show. Radio that moves at the speed of thought. Now, once again, here's Rich Stevens.
New York attitude, Florida charm. Talk so hot, it's a 4-alarm. Right, smart, unafraid. A double shot of truth on your radio waves. Hey, hey, oh, whoa. Time to crank up your radio. Hey, hey, whoa, whoa. Time for the Rich Stevens Radio Show. Rich Stevens. Sounds so nice, you're gonna say it twice. Rich Stevens Show. Coming to you strong on your radio.
What's happening? What's going on? It's the last day of October. It's October 31st, 2016, better known as Halloween. It's a day for Americans to dress up and pretend they're someone that they're not. Basically what Hillary's been doing this entire damn election. Hope you're doing well. If you're in costume, well, that's your thing. I got to tell you, some people look great in costume. I've had people emailing me and texting me saying, hey, are you going to wear a costume on Rich Stevens TV? And my response to everybody was, no, I'm just me. I'm in costume every day. Why do I have to? Today's not anything special. I mean, think about that for a second. If you're giving out full-size treats, that's more important to me. I want to know which house has the full-size treats. We talked about this a couple weeks ago when I was a kid and we went trick-or-treating in the Bronx, and somebody found out which was the house, which was the apartment that gave out the full-size candy bars. It was like, I mean, remember, we had no social media. There were no cell phones. We didn't have anything. We had the cup and the string. That's basically all we had. When you came out of a building, and boy, you talk about the halls in the Bronx. We would come by and go into a building where you have like 200-300 apartments, and then you come out and everybody went with their friends. There were times we went with our parents, but most of the time, we went with friends. And you come out and say, "Oh, I'll never forget this one in particular. Apartment 509. They got the full-size Milky Way bars." And then everybody would run to 509. Thank you, Patty. Everybody would run to apartment 509 and get the full-size Milky Way bars. And then everybody would say, "Oh, in apartment 2, don't go to 206 because that weird guy is handing out apples." Who wants apples? Kids don't want apples. There was somebody, what was he? I think it was on the 4th floor in this one particular building. The guy was handing out cream of wheat cereal in little packets. It wasn't like it was a full box or anything. It was just made. Who's the guy in the hallway that everybody's taking pictures of? Do you know? There's this. You never know. The big celebrities are walking by here in the studio. I can't see the guy's face. I only see him from behind.
Yeah, I have no idea who he is.
Wait till he turns around. I want to know if it's anybody we should be taking pictures with or bringing to the studio. I mean, I've never seen Bill Adams walk out of his studio at
to meet
Sunny
with somebody?
1079 to take a picture of somebody in the hallway. So I don't know if is the guy holding something or is it? I'm sorry to bring you behind the scenes stuff, but it's very distracting. We have all these windows in the studio, and maybe you should just go out and take a picture.
I'm going to see if I can find out first.
How are you going to find out?
Text Kristen.
Oh, okay. You think she's sitting with her phone? But Kristen hasn't jumped up. Kristen's standing on the other side. She's answering phones for us today. I think if it was somebody exciting, she probably would have jumped up. But I'm watching Jack from our promotion department, and he looks pretty excited talking to this guy. So I don't know what the heck is going on. But anyway, if we find out,
I'll let you know.
Let me know. Yeah, could turn out to be. Obviously, the guy's not a musician because I shouldn't say that. That's probably... I'm sorry. I'm all over the place today. I admit it. I haven't had a lot of sleep. I met my friend Kim for dinner last night. I left my mom last night and went out to dinner about 7. I was starving. I didn't eat all day. So 7:30 we went to dinner. And then we went to, oh my God. Wow. It's Mike, the security guard with 2 black eyes. So that's who the guy in the hallway is. Oh, wait a minute. Is that a costume? I just realized it's a costume.
He was wearing a Tom Brady shirt, and it looked like he had a...
Is that what it is?
Like the football paint.
Oh, I thought it was real because he hasn't been here. So I thought maybe he was in. Maybe it is real. I don't know.
I'm confused. I don't know. All
right. So we went out to dinner last night, and I got to tell you, it was a mistake. I had a great time with my friend. By the way, you should vote for her if you live in Broward County. Kim Malika, running for county court judge. She's definitely and she was wearing her T-shirt last night because she came from campaigning. People are coming up, "Oh, I like Kim Malika." You should, because she's the better choice on the ballot. But I made a mistake, and normally on a school night, I go to bed early. Well, I went out to dinner 7:30. Didn't get home till like 10 o'clock. It was not a good thing. So I learned a big lesson there.
Breaking news from Bill Adams: the costume is Bill Belichick.
Is that what that is? I never would have known.
Yep.
By the way, speaking of breaking news, I can tell you from firsthand experience 2 things that I learned over the weekend. And I want to share this with you in case you should be in the same situation. Never ask a woman when's the due date unless you know for sure she's pregnant. I learned that lesson on Saturday. Not a fun thing to do. I will never do it again. I apologize. I can't even apologize enough. What's even worse is when I came in the building this morning, and I was running a little bit late today because I just couldn't get up, there was a girl who I admit I've seen her numerous times. It works on a different floor in this building. And we've never crossed paths. I mean, I always see her. She's always getting out of the car and I'm still driving, or she's getting out, she's driving, she's walking and I'm driving the other way. This was the first time we came to the lobby at the same time. And I got to tell you, the girl's very attractive, and I was looking forward to one day coming close to her and just saying hello, making a little small talk. And I made a mistake this morning, and I'll probably never talk to her again because I asked her who she was supposed to be. And she said, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Well, I don't see anything wrong with asking somebody on Halloween who you're supposed to be, right?" Long story short, she wasn't wearing a costume. And she just, I guess she had a little extra makeup on, and that's her normal thing. I never saw her up close until today. So I learned my lesson. Never ask a girl when they're due if you think they're pregnant. And never ask somebody, especially on Halloween, what they're supposed to be because it might not be a costume. Hi, quick timeout. You're listening to The Rich Stevens Show.
With the 2016 hurricane season underway, we're watching the tropics for you. I'm Gerard Campbell. Stay informed with News Talk 850 WFTL.
I want to tell you about AutoBuy. This is the only way that you should ever think about selling your car. Why? Well, there's several reasons. The most important is because AutoBuy is always going to pay the max. That's what their business is based on. Their website, WePayTheMax.com. Well, it says it all. They say everything's in a name. There's the name, WePayTheMax.com. AutoBuy has 5 locations. There's one near you from the Treasure Coast to Miami, or if it's the opposite way, from Miami to the Treasure Coast. They're open till 7 o'clock tonight. If you're thinking about selling your car, your SUV, your motorcycle, whatever the vehicle is, take it to AutoBuy today in 20 minutes or less. They'll give you a certified evaluation right there on the spot. You bring your title with you, and you like their offer, you give them the title, and they'll pay you the cash right there on the spot. That's the AutoBuy difference. Listen, the fact is, when you go to a car dealer and you want to trade in your car, or if you go to one of these places that just takes cars and resells them, they're never going to pay you what you really have worth in that car. AutoBuy, they know the cars that they need to send all over the country right now. So if your car happens to be one of those cars, well, they're going to pay you the max. And if it's not one of those cars, they're still going to pay you the max. That's why I encourage you to get online, go to WePayTheMax.com, or just get into an AutoBuy location today, sometime before 7, and see why everybody's talking about AutoBuy. Do a little search online. Go to Google reviews. They're all positive reviews. Tons of them from your friends and neighbors right here in South Florida. The website, WePayTheMax.com. That's what AutoBuy does every day. They pay the max. WePayTheMax.com for my friends at AutoBuy.
Here's David Lerner.
For 40 years, whether the stock market has been up or down, we at David Lerner Associates have been providing our clients with investments designed to provide income. Our aim has always been to make available what we believe is the sensible middle ground of investing. Unlike the wolves of Wall Street, we feel for the last 40 years we have been good shepherds. Take a tip from Poppy. Get to know us.
Call 1-800-367-3000 or find us online at davidlerner.com. That's 1-800-367-3000. There are risks inherent in investing. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. Certain investments are offered by prospectus. Investors should read the prospectuses carefully and consider the investment's objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and other information before investing. The prospectuses may be obtained from David Lerner Associates Incorporated by calling 1-800-367-3000. Member FINRA and SIPC. Remember, the appointment is free. The advice could be priceless.
Listen, I got to tell you about Dr. Elvis Grandick. I was in the hospital with my mom just a couple days ago. And, when you're in the waiting room, there's other families and you overhear conversations. People are talking on the phone or people are talking to other family members, yada, yada, yada. Long story short, somebody was talking about, oh my God, we have to find somebody that could do the hip surgery and we don't know what to do. We're from New Jersey. And I said, excuse me, I couldn't help but overhearing your conversation. I happen to be friends with the best orthopedic surgeon in all of South Florida. And they said, really? And I said, yes. What's his name? And I said, it's Dr. Elvis Grandick. I said, as a matter of fact, he's the surgeon that did my mom's hip surgery. And he does the SuperPath approach. He's one of 8 surgeons in the entire country that does this. And the woman said to me, well, that's great. Do you think we can get a hold of him today? And I said, absolutely. just call Dr. Elvis Grandick, 561-734-5080, 561-734-5080. And then I said, oh, you know what else you could do? He has a website that explains everything that he does. It's elvisgrandickmd.com. And they looked at me and they said, you know, it's truly a miracle that we met you today, because the hospital, they were recommending people that just didn't sound well qualified. And that's a fact. Some of the people that the doctors, that the hospital's going to recommend, the social workers and such, you don't want to take their recommendations. Take my recommendation, because I know him firsthand. I trusted my mom's life in his hands, and he's just a miracle worker as far as I'm concerned. Nicest doctor you'll ever meet, too. It's Dr. Elvis Grandick, 561-734-5080. That's 561-734-5080. Dr. Elvis Grandick.
Florida is the Sunshine State. So let's give solar power the green light with Amendment 1. Amendment 1 is good for the environment, good for consumers, good for Florida. It guarantees your right to generate your own solar energy. By placing that right in Florida's Constitution, it keeps the politicians and the special interests from messing with it. Amendment 1 does solar the right way. Common sense consumer protections. No unfair subsidies, giving you protection from the politicians. It's clear, simple, and straightforward, and that's the right way to do solar. Solar power for the Sunshine State. Vote yes on Amendment 1 for the sun. Paid political advertisement paid for by Consumers for Smart Solar. 2640A Mitcham Drive, Tallahassee, Florida, 32308.
So you own a home and you're thinking about selling. Do not sell that home. I got a better idea for you. Why don't you rent it out with the help of InvestPro Properties? Let me explain why. Because home ownership, it's at its lowest level in 51 years right now. And that's created an unprecedented demand for rentals right here in our area. In fact, the rental market's so hot, InvestPro Properties, they can't get enough properties to meet the demand. So here's what they'll do. They'll go out and they'll find you a great tenant, just a few weeks on average. Then they're going to manage everything. You don't have to do anything. You just sit back and cash the checks every month. I mean, they're going to do the rent collections. They're going to take care of the inspections. They're going to take care of those middle of the night phone calls. In other words, they don't go to you. They go to them, and so much more. And you pay nothing up front. There's no binding contract. You can cancel any time. And they even guarantee the tenants are going to perform for you. Well, you just sit back and cash the checks I told you about. InvestPro Properties. You should call them right now. 561-203-7022. 561-203-7022. Listen, if you're planning a move for any reason, whatever you do not sell your home, because you could be potentially leaving thousands of dollars on the table. Put the money in your pocket instead. Get in touch with InvestPro Properties today. 561-203-7022. That's 561-203-7022 for InvestPro Properties, your rental property experts.
Early voting for the general election runs now through November 6th. Be the voice that needs to be heard, because your voice and your vote matters. This message is brought to you by Cersei Denny at CerseiLaw.com.
We elect a new president on Tuesday, November 8th. I'm Gerard Campbell. For the latest on the race for the White House, join us at News Talk 850 WFTL.
Gee, let's see who got behind Donald Trump virtually the day he announced. Stick with the winners and join me, Joyce Kaufman, weekdays at noon on News Talk 850 WFTL.
Sometimes we wonder whether the world is being run by smart people putting us on or by the idiots that really mean it.
It's like I feel like I'm in the, I don't know what it's called, the cafeteria where you're waiting for the hot food to be brought out and they don't bring it out. I know that doesn't make sense if you're just tuning into the radio, but that's okay. Just bear with me. It's a Monday. This is why I said at the beginning of the show, is it too late to get something on the ballot that we just avoid Mondays altogether? Could we possibly do this? I have no idea. Sometimes things happen. I can only imagine. Well, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine what it's like for these presidential candidates to do the schedule that they do. I want to know how it's possible that I'm nowhere near the age of Donald Trump and or Hillary Clinton, and yet I'm finding it difficult to do my schedule.
What you don't know is that Trump has been using Alec Baldwin for half of his things so that he gets more rest.
And then who has Hillary been using?
Good question.
Because she's the one that's not well to begin with. So I just can't. There should be a product, and I should be the one to endorse it because I want to take whatever it is that they're taking. I mean, seriously, think about this for a second. I don't know about you, but if you've ever flown anywhere, if you've flown from South Florida to New York or New York to South Florida, and you get off that plane, you're dehydrated, you're just exhausted. God forbid you fly across the country 6 hours. Forget about it. But these people are flying all over the place. Sometimes Donald Trump's doing 4 cities in one day and the rallies.
Well, yeah, but they're flying on private jets that probably have...
They're not flying on private jets. He's flying on Trump Force One, which is his big-ass plane. And then you have the other thing that Hillary flies on her big-ass plane.
They still probably have like beds and lounge chairs. They probably get to rest on those.
I don't think they have beds. I really don't think they have beds. I've been on presidential campaign planes before in the past, and they're normal planes that they just happen to have decorated the inside for the candidate. It's not like Air Force One where you have a suite. I don't think they have that. And I got to tell you, even if they do have that, well, let me explain to you what I did. When was this? I think Saturday. Now Friday. Now I haven't gotten a lot of sleep, and I'm not bitching to you. I'm just telling you. And I'm trying to figure out what the magic is, how these people are able to do what they do. So I didn't get a lot of sleep on Friday. Friday, remember, we had our pink potluck thing here. By the way, we raised almost $4,000. That was an internal Alpha Media thing. It was just our employees here.
That's a lot of money.
Yes, it is. In an hour and a half. That's a lot of money. So I said, listen, why don't we do this for like 5 hours? Maybe we would raise a lot more money. There was so much food here on Friday. It was incredible. Just unbelievable. And I learned that we have a lot of good cooks amongst us. And I learned we have a lot of lazy people because people went out and bought stuff at Costco and Publix and Walmart.
I had 3 plates.
I know. Great. I saw the plates that were coming down here.
It was fantastic.
But you didn't get to try my dip that I made.
Unfortunately, no.
You know what the coolest thing was? Our boss, the big boss. I said, you got to try that. That's Rich Stevens' special French onion dip. She says, what's so special about it? I said, because I made it. She said, okay, I'll try it. And then she tried. She says, this is really good. What's the secret ingredient? I said, it's a secret. So later Friday, she sends me a text message. What was the secret ingredient? So I guess she really liked it. This is what everybody says. They love my French onion dip.
You have to bring some in for me
because it's probably still here because I made 2 pounds of it. So I don't know what happened to the food. It's probably still in the refrigerator. But here's the thing. Back to the other situation. So Saturday morning, I had this breakfast political deal. Saturday morning, 7:30 Saturday morning. I could barely drive back from the hospital on Friday night to get home. I got home. I went to bed like a 2-year-old at 9 o'clock. I couldn't keep my eyes open. I could barely get home. I got home, went to bed, got up at 6 o'clock to get ready to drive to Fort Lauderdale to this breakfast. I was okay when I got there. I think I had, no lie, from 7:30 to 8:15, maybe 8 cups of coffee. The waitress who I've seen before, she says, are you okay? I said, well, I'm just really tired. I haven't gotten a lot of sleep. 8 cups. She says, you realize this is your 9th cup of coffee I'm pouring now. She wasn't complaining. She just wanted to make sure I was aware. Coffee doesn't do anything for me. I just like the taste of it. Although maybe it does and I don't realize it. But anyway, so then I leave there and I go to see my mom. And then at 1:30, I said to my mom, listen, I want to be with you. And, I go there every day and every night. But I can't keep my eyes open. I'm going to go home. I'm going to sleep for 2 hours. And then I'll come back. And she says, go. I get home. I could barely drive home. This is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I get home. I got home. I just sat down on the couch. Next thing I know, I'm out like a light. Thank God I set my alarm. I got up an hour and a half later, drove back. And so I'm still not, you can't catch up. That's the thing. So how the hell are these people doing it? Stand by. We have a lot more to go. This is the Rich Stevens Show.
Traffic got you down? Save time with News Talk 850's real-time traffic map, available on our website at 850wftl.com.
Hi, this is Joyce. I lost more weight more quickly than I ever thought possible. Quick Weight Loss Centers. And unlike other programs, you know what? This was fun. It was convenient. I was eating real food that I prepared. I could eat out at restaurants. I had supplements that crushed my cravings. The program's so convenient and so easy to follow. I still get to enjoy life. I go to parties, I've been on vacation, and I've kept off the 28 pounds, now going on 3 months. It's affordable compared to other programs, and you'll get amazing fast results. Lose up to 100 pounds or more eating more fresh-made restaurant and supermarket food than you care to eat, so you're never hungry. There are no prepackaged meals. You get 4 weeks for just $66. 4 weeks for $66. Kids join free with parent enrollment. Some conditions apply. Visit quickweightloss.net. There are 17 locations from Miami to Vero. For one near you, dial *QUICK for a free consultation and get a text with even more savings. Message data rates may apply. Dial *QUICK on your mobile for quick weight loss.
Teresa Miller has been a crash-proof consumer since 2011. Listen to what being crash-proof in retirement means to her.
Crash-proof retirement means to me that the money that I have will not be lost. I will have enough money for as long as I'm going to live, and at the end, I have some to leave to my kids. The best part about the crash-proof vehicles is that I won't lose my money. I have the option to kind of play around. I know that I can do different strategies every year, and I have the option to make money without losing the money that I'm playing with, and that's got to be the best of both worlds. Crash-proof retirement gives me peace of mind.
The next Crash-Proof Retirement educational event with Phil Cannella and Joanne Small is happening in the Grand Ballroom at the Doubletree Hilton in Palm Beach Gardens on Wednesday, November 9th at 5 p.m. Call to register 800-722-9728 or visit the website crashproofretirement.com.
The FBI has the warrant it needs to examine thousands of emails from a Hillary Clinton aide to see if it's relevant to Clinton's private server. The political shockwaves playing out as the latest ABC News tracking poll shows she's neck and neck with Donald Trump. ABC's Brad Milkey is on the campaign trail with more.
Clinton 46, Trump 45. That's the national picture just 8 days before Election Day, with Hillary Clinton's favorability rating tanking in the aftermath of renewed interest in her emails by the FBI. New polling in crucial battlegrounds show her with a narrow lead in North Carolina and deadlocked in Florida, and those results were taken before this late October surprise. She'll spend today in Ohio, a state she's currently losing, trying to turn the narrative around. Brad Milkey, ABC News, Cleveland.
Donald Trump campaigns in the swing state of Michigan. On Wall Street, stocks slightly higher in early trading today, boosted by a government report that consumer spending increased in September at the fastest pace in 3 months. I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
I'm Karen Curtis with the News Talk 850 WFTL News Break. Hillary Clinton campaigning in Ohio today before she and her husband Bill both head to South Florida for campaign events tomorrow. Clinton campaigned in South Florida over the weekend. She was in Fort Lauderdale and Wilton Manors and also in Miami at a concert by Jennifer Lopez and Mark Anthony. Tragedy in Coral Springs. A mother and daughter found dead in a swimming pool. The bodies were recovered from a pool at the Sherwood Square Apartments. No word just yet on the official cause of death. A bomb threat forces the evacuation of a passenger jet at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. That jet eventually got to Dallas. A Miami Beach drug suspect is caught by a city commissioner. The Miami Herald reports that City Commissioner Richard Grieco chased a man he says he witnessed peddling pot yesterday at Collins Avenue and 14th Street on South Beach. It's Halloween in South Florida, and some Miami-Dade residents are afraid of Zika. They'll be handing out mosquito repellent in Zika areas of Miami. Right now, mostly cloudy and 79 degrees in Riviera Beach, mostly cloudy and 80 degrees in Hollywood. I'm Karen Curtis, News Talk 850 WFTL.
Are you suffering from any kind of foot pain or something related to your ankle or foot? You know, finding the right podiatrist here in South Florida can be a real challenge. You can end your foot pain today with Dr. Richard Eggerman because he treats all problems related to the foot and the ankle. He's dedicated to providing caring, compassionate, comprehensive podiatry care. Listen, he's the most qualified podiatrist in all of South Florida. I'm talking about Dr. Richard Eggerman. Oh, get this. He even makes house calls and same-day appointments. So if you're suffering with some kind of foot pain and the suffering today, call and make an appointment for today. 561-495-9700. 561-495-9700. He offers the highest standard of medical excellence and professionalism with a personal warmth and a genuinely caring attitude. Did I mention he makes house calls and same-day appointments? That's Dr. Richard Eggerman, 561-495-9700. 561-495-9700. Listen, if you're a new patient and you book your appointment within the next 10 days and you say, Rich Stevens told me to make this appointment, they will give you a free gift when you go in for that appointment. Call, make that appointment today, 561-495-9700. That's 561-495-9700 for Dr. Richard Eggerman. He's on Military Trail in Delray Beach, right a little bit north of Lake Ida Road. Very easy to get to. I'm telling you, the best podiatrist in all of South Florida. Dr. Richard Eggerman, 561-495-9700.
Hi, this is Joyce Kaufman, and do you have a family member addicted to painkillers or alcohol or other drugs? Are you desperate to help them stop this downward spiral and get their lives back? The Florida House Experience is the only treatment center in the country that combines cutting-edge medical treatment with highly trained doctors, psychological and psychiatric care. The Florida House Experience uses neuro-rehabilitative techniques that restore the brain so it can be regulated and healthy. The patients feel great, and the once-resisted patient is now ready to receive traditional clinical care. If this is what you want for a loved one, consider the Florida House Experience. Comprehensive treatment for drug and alcohol addiction or drug abuse and mental disorders such as depression, anxiety, codependency, and trauma. For modern-day addiction treatment, call 855-SOBER-16. That's 855-SOBER-16. Or visit online at FHERehab.com. Call 855-SOBER-16. That's 855-SOBER-16. Or visit online at FHERehab.com.
The Zika virus update brought to you by Visonic Screen Systems, featuring the motorized FlexShade Zip System. Call them at 800-344-4418 or visit Visonic.net. Miami Beach officials and business owners hope that Zika will not scare away the Halloween crowds today and tonight. The Lincoln Road Mall outdoor shopping area in South Beach falls within one of the 2 active Zika transmission zones in Miami-Dade County, but they're telling us it's perfectly safe. And if you need or want some of the spray, they're handing that out tonight and all afternoon, as a matter of fact. The Zika virus update brought to you by Visonic Screen Systems, featuring the motorized FlexShade Zip System. Call them at 800-344-4418 or visit Visonic.net.
I'm meteorologist Chris Farrell for CBS 12 News, and a nice Monday underway. Our skies mostly sunny today, finally back in the sunshine. Still breezy, with the east wind at 15 to 20 miles an hour and higher gusted times. The high day near 85. Tonight, partly cloudy, 75. Tuesday, mostly sunny, a little breezy, with northeast wind at 20, and the high on Tuesday, 85.
Hi, it's Jennifer and Bill. Our show's all about your opinion, your phone calls hearing from you, right?
Yeah. Just kidding. It's all about what we think. So join us, 11 a.m. right here. News Talk 850 WFTL.
The following broadcast is rated R for Rich. Now, back to Rich Stevens.
You know, it's amazing what happened over the weekend. And a lot of people are thinking that, well, like Rich Stevens said a week ago, it's rigged. Oh, I'm not talking about the election. I'm talking about the mistake by the lake. The Chicago Cubs avoided a sweep at Wrigley by winning last night 3-2. It's pretty incredible if you think about it, because that now forces Game 6 back to Cleveland in the 112th World Series. The Indians took games 3 and 4 on Friday and Saturday, respectively. However, they failed to clinch that last night in the final game to be played this year in the Windy City. It's the first World Series game won at Wrigley since 1945. Now, because of the American League winning the All-Star game, it's back to Progressive Field. Sudden death for the lovable losers. That's the Cubs, by the way. Tomorrow and or Wednesday. We're among the greatest comebacks of all time. We're going to have to wait and see. It's too bad that, and I think the Cubs are going to pull this out. I think they've come so close. First of all, there will be 7 games. That's my prediction. But something happened at the game, and I guess I've been to Cubs games, and I don't remember. I really don't remember this happening, but apparently the singing at the 7th inning stretch, take me out to the ball game, has become somewhat of a tradition. And last night, I don't know if you heard about this, but Bill Murray did it. and he did a Daffy Duck-inspired version of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. I'm not sure what the relevance is. Maybe someone, do you know?
No idea.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the Daffy Duck.
Are you paying attention?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm listening.
So what's Daffy Duck got to do with Take Me Out to the Ball Game and or the Cubs at home? Nothing, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
I'm glad I didn't miss that then. Vince Vaughn did it Saturday night. And Pearl Jam lead singer Eddie Vedder had the honors on Sunday night. But Bill Murray did Friday night. I'm sorry. What I don't understand is the Daffy Duck deal.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the Cubs. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, they're out at the old ball game. Let's get some runs, suckers.
Now, what's very interesting about this, some people are saying that it was politically incorrect what he did, meaning that he was making fun of people with lisps. I don't think you could say that without doing it, right? Can you do it?
I think that's why they call it a lisp.
Well, say it.
Lisp.
Okay. Well, when I just did it, it sounded like I was going to do the same thing. So I'm not sure. I don't understand the relevance, the relevance at all. But you got to admit that the performance was better than, what's his name? Who was it from the Bulls? Remember we had that audio. It was awful. He butchered it like crazy. Well, sorry, I can't remember. But anyway, so Bill Murray led the crowd with the Daffy Duck lisp. Why? I don't know. You know, being that it's Halloween, and look, the expert on this radio station talking about political stuff is coming up at noon, okay? That's Joyce Kaufman. I always like to leave that stuff to her because she's going to hit it harder than I could ever hit it because I'm not the political guy. So we'll talk more about that coming up in a few minutes. But I want to talk about two things before we go today. One, the Halloween candy deal, but something that I learned that's even more important to me. And I learned about this yesterday. And I tested it this morning, and it's true. And you need to be aware of this because a lot of people, you ever been standing in an elevator and you start pressing that closed door button, like, you know, you tap it, tap, trying to close the door? You ever do this? You ever do it here in the building?
Maybe.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Do you do it because you didn't want to wait for somebody to walk up and you were hoping to close the door quicker?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I am a jerk.
Well, guess what?
What?
You are being a bad person for no reason at all.
That's true.
Ask me why.
Why?
Because the door close button doesn't do a thing. It doesn't work. It's just there for show. The director of the National Elevator Industry Trade Group revealed this over the weekend, that the closed door button in the elevator used to work. But after the Americans with Disability Act in 1990, the elevator manufacturers had to disable them to make sure there was enough time for someone in a wheelchair or somebody with a cane to safely make it to the elevator. So you could press that button until you're blue in the face. It's not going to close the door.
Well, it will one time.
No.
It will once.
Now, since elevator cars have to be replaced after about 25 years, basically all the ones before 1990 are now gone or refurbished, which means all the working door close buttons are gone too. It doesn't do anything. So why do they still put the fakakta button in the elevator? That's the natural question, I would assume, right? Well, there's two reasons. One, they're there because of tradition, even though they don't do anything anymore. And two, people still really like pressing them, case in point. Because somehow it gives us a sense of control.
Psychosomatic.
Even though it's not doing anything. Now, I'm talking about the door close button, not the door open button. The door open button, of course, works. The door close does absolutely nothing. If you don't believe me, go and test it today. As I said, I needed an elevator today, so when I came in this morning, it's the first thing I did is press the button, and nothing happened. Now, I got to tell you, I've pressed that button before in this particular building and noticed that there's a delay. In other words, you can press it a couple times, does absolutely nothing, then all of a sudden it closes on its own, which
Probably
would be the same time
it would normally close.
Right. So
Yeah.
try that today. You learn something new every moment of the day. Coming up next after a quick timeout, I want to talk about Halloween candy and some history that I think is worth sharing since it's Halloween. I only get to do this once a year, so bear with me. You're listening to The Rich Stevens Show.
South Florida's station for the Seminole Nation.
Francois dropping, looking, crossing route, throws, caught, touchdown FSU, 96 yards.
News Talk 850 WFTL.
Florida is the Sunshine State. So let's give solar power the green light with Amendment 1. Amendment 1 is good for the environment, good for consumers, good for Florida. It guarantees your right to generate your own solar energy. By placing that right in Florida's Constitution, it keeps the politicians and the special interests from messing with it. Amendment 1 does solar the right way. Common sense consumer protections. No unfair subsidies, giving you protection from the politicians. It's clear, simple, and straightforward, and that's the right way to do solar. Solar power for the Sunshine State. Vote yes on Amendment 1 for the sun. Paid political advertisement paid for by Consumers for Smart Solar. 2640A Mitcham Drive, Tallahassee, Florida, 32308.
If you're over 40, you probably, or you should already know about the benefits of nitric oxide by now. You know, there's a reason that everybody's talking about nitric oxide. It's a miracle molecule. It does wonders for healthy blood pressure, boosts your energy, and last but not least, it enhances male intimacy. I don't have to explain to you what that is, do I? Hello. There's a lot of nitric oxide supplements out on the market, but there's only one Heart Factors. That's the original breakthrough from Chamonix. Years of proven results. Heart Factors works for men. It works for women. The benefits are truly amazing. Look, you got to try it for yourself. If for any reason you're not happy with it, or you don't like the amazing results, or it doesn't work for you, you get your money back. They don't even ask you any questions. Just call 800-621-1393. 800-621-1393. Say, Rich Stevens told me to call to give you a free bottle of Heart Factors today. And they'll also upgrade you to priority shipping absolutely free. 800-621-1393. 800-621-1393. And take advantage of the offer, and you can thank me later. 800-621-1393. That's 800-621-1393.
Results not typical. Do you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in personal or business taxes and you can't afford to pay? You have the right to tax representation. Join satisfied clients like Victoria. She owed the IRS $32,000. They accepted $300. She saved $31,700. Leroy owed $21,000. The IRS accepted $500 and he saved $20,500. Get tax representation and save too. Call 800-556-7089. Has the IRS threatened to shut down your business, freeze your bank accounts, take your home, your cars, or garnish your wages? You may qualify for special programs to stop this process. Get tax representation. The industry experts with negotiating with the IRS with an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Call today and the IRS will be contacted the same day, putting a stop to bank levies and wage garnishments. Call the tax representation hotline at 800-556-7089. 800-556-7089. That's 800-556-7089.
Listen, I want you to get approved today because the feds have not raised the rates yet. You know, I was talking to Michael Consi over the weekend. The rates that he could get you locked into, which are under 3%, are just incredible. And every day this rate fluctuates a little bit. Today, he tells me, is the lowest it's been in all of time. It's never been this low. So you need to take advantage of it because once they, look, even if they raise at 1 point, that's going to cost you thousands of dollars. So right now you can get in under 3% at an unprecedented rate. Why don't you call and take advantage of this today? Let me give you Michael Consi's cell phone number, 561-441-2730. 561-441-2730. Listen, they are the experts on reverse mortgages too. If you are getting the runaround with some other company and the process is just dragging on and on, it's not supposed to be like that. That's why you got to call Michael Kotze today. He doesn't work banking hours. He works when you need him most, which is what he was doing over the weekend. He will help you tonight and again on the weekend. Whenever it is you need him, that's why he wants you to have his cell phone number. Try this with your bank. It's never going to happen. They'll look at you like you're strange. Michael Kotze wants you to get in touch with him directly. 561-441-2730. And yes, it's his cell phone. So if you want to text him and say, hey, Michael, Rich Stevens told me to get in touch with you. Can you call me tonight at 6:30? You can do that. Text him right now. He'll call you at 6:30 tonight. Listen, AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. Over 20 years in business, helping South Floridians like you with all their mortgage needs. Trust Michael Kotze. He can help you today. 561-441-2730. 561-441-2730. NMLS number 166254. Rates and terms are subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender.
One of our clients' bigger concerns after an accident is getting their vehicle repaired. That involves getting the police report, reporting the claim, inspecting the vehicle, and clearing liability with the at-fault insurance company. That can take several days. I'm Mark Anajar. At Anajar & Levine, we don't make you go it alone. We're here to assist our clients with responsive legal help. Call the law firm of Anajar & Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Fort Lauderdale.
I'm no right-winger. I'm just plain right. This is Joyce Kaufman. Listen to my show every weekday at noon on News Talk 850 WFTL.
Opinionated, informed, and unafraid. This is The Rich Stevens Show, radio that moves at the speed of thought. Now, once again, here's Rich Stevens.
Listen, mark your calendar for Election Day. Not only is it going to be a big day, but it's going to be even bigger if you come join me at Reuven's Restaurant. It's in Delray Beach on Jog Road, right by Lake Ida. It's kind of between Lake Ida and Flavor Pick, right next to Publix. Reuven's, Ruvens. We're going to do a breakfast. They open at 8 o'clock. I'll be there at 8 o'clock for a breakfast. We'll have a little VIP roundtable where I'll give you an invitation to join us. And then, of course, we're taking care of your breakfast. And if you don't win that, you can come and join anyway, be part of the conversation, be part of the live broadcast from 9 to 11 in Delray Beach on Election Day. And at the table, now I don't know if this is a good idea or not. I think it is. I haven't said this out loud, but I'm going to say it out loud now. So it could be a terrible idea. But I'm hoping to get a mix of Hillary supporters and Trump supporters to sit at the same table. Assuming that at this point, when we have breakfast at 8 o'clock at Reuven's on Election Day morning, you've already voted and we can have some interesting conversation. And then we'll carry that conversation continued on the Rich Stevens Show starting at 9 o'clock. So if you ever want to see how it works behind the scenes, I got to tell you, it's even more fun when we bring the show out on the road. So that will be on Election Day morning at Reuven's in Delray Beach. All right, now, it's Halloween, so let's talk about Halloween candy. I'm going to give you a statement. You just tell me if you think it's true or if you think it's not true.
Who, me?
Yes, you. I'm looking at you.
Oh, it's okay.
The topic is Halloween candy.
All right.
Put your phone down. No Googling, because we got to go right through this kind of quick, okay?
Okay.
The first fun-sized candy bars were Snickers and Milky Way.
True.
You think? Why are you looking down? What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the board.
Look at me. Don't look at any board.
My phone's right there.
No, put your phone
All
down.
right.
I
It's
can't
right
see your
there.
hands, all right? Put your hands up in the air like you don't care. All right, there you go.
Okay.
Yes, Mars started making mini candy bars in 1961, and they started using the term fun size in 1968, which is really interesting because I would have said no and thought that it was maybe in the 80s that they started the fun size. I don't remember the fun size prior to that. The guy who created Reese's Peanut Butter Cups wasn't named Reese. He was in love with a girl named Reese, and he did it to try to impress her.
True.
We made that one up.
Oh.
The guy who invented them was named H.B. Reese. He was a former employee for Hershey's. He started making them in 1928. Reese's peanut butter cups just never seems to get old. They just seem to get smaller,
really
but they're always, really good. You ever try to make them yourself?
No. I think I've had homemade ones once, but I didn't try to make
Well, it's pretty easy. You just take, and they sell the Reese's peanut butter now, so it's the perfect taste, but you just take your teaspoon and you stick it in there and you just put some chocolate on the top. That chocolate that you put on ice cream that kind of turns into a hard shell. Oh,
Sure. My wife
Buy
is
the
the
Reese's
cook
one of
art
those.
in
I'm
my
telling you.
family.
All right. These are all real Kit Kat flavors in Japan.
Oh, gosh.
You ready?
Sure.
Apple, mango, lemon, blueberry cheesecake, and grilled potato.
True, because it's Japan.
Well, that's true. They
Oh, wow.
also sell a few different pumpkin-flavored Kit Kats around Halloween. One of the things that I loved about traveling to Japan a couple times in my life is that they have all these other... They have our candy bars. They have their own, but they have ours that are totally different. Like this, like the Kit Kats. The blueberry cheesecake Kit Kats doesn't sound good, but it's really good.
I can only imagine. I don't know how you even... Is it the chocolate that's flavored, or like...
No,
how do you add the flavor to
it's
it?
just totally different. It's just the same Crunch bar, but instead of the chocolate, it's topped with this blueberry cheesecake thing.
Okay.
So it's not
like kind of
they're
like
not
the
all
white chocolate ones.
Yeah,
but
that's
like
terrible.
different. I got you.
Yeah. All right, the little piece of paper that sticks out of a Hershey's Kiss was specifically added in 1921 to make the wrapper easier to open.
I'm probably going to get this wrong, but I think it's true.
No, that's not true.
I didn't think so.
They're called plumes, and they do make them easier to open, but they were originally just a branding thing. Other companies started making chocolate kisses, so Hershey's wanted to make sure people knew that they were buying authentic Hershey's Kisses, so they put this plume thing in it.
Oh, okay.
Finally,
Yep.
the M's in M&M's are the initials of the two people who invented them.
So I've got them half right. This is for the win.
Yeah, here you go.
False.
Well, it's true.
Gah!
They were invented by Forrest Mars, the son of the guy who started the Mars Company, and Bruce Murray, whose father was the president of Hershey's, hence M&M's. You were on a roll. You should have quit while you were ahead, right? You should have said, Rich, I want out.
I want my money now.
I
I'll
just
take the
want to be
check.
out.
I'll walk away.
By the way, speaking of being out, I thought this was great. That Donald Trump yesterday thanked Anthony Weiner.
We never thought we were going to say thank you to Anthony Weiner. She made 13 phones disappear, some with a hammer. She lied to Congress under oath. She lied to the FBI many times. And then 2 boxes of email evidence just recently went mysteriously missing.
There you go. That was at a speech yesterday in Vegas. What a great way to start that speech. And by the way,
He really missed an opportunity to say, I thank a wiener. No?
No.
Okay.
By the way, we were just talking about the Halloween candies, and in the last couple minutes here, there's a list of the best and worst that have just come out. And I don't think anybody's going to have any disagreements with this, but it's not based on a survey or anything. It's just the writer's opinion. So I don't know how much. You're almost guaranteed to disagree with these people. It would almost be weirder, though, if you think they got it perfect. The top 10 candies to get on Halloween, number 1 on the list is Kit Kat, followed by Starburst, Twix, Milky Way, Skittles, Jolly Ranchers, Haribo Gummy Bear, Snickers, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, and something I never heard of, Cowtails.
No idea what a Cowtail is.
And I'm hoping that's a candy, but you never know. And the 10 worst candies to get are Tootsie Rolls, Tootsie Pops, Mike and Ike, Twizzlers, Almond Joy, Raisinets, Mounds, Smarties, Nestle's Crunch, Laffy Taffy, and Hershey's Miniatures.
I almost agree with that list.
Listen,
Raisinets are amazing, though.
The mere fact that M&M's didn't make the top 10 and Candy Corn and Milk Duds didn't make the bottom 10 is a fatal blow to this writer's credibility. Think about this for a minute. But isn't that what Halloween is all about?
Also, am I the only one that likes Raisinets?
You know what? I like Raisinets, but don't they make a Peanutettes? No.
Do they?
Is there something that's like...
I have no idea.
Same thing with peanuts?
I always
or
get
that would be
Raisinets.
M&M's with peanuts, probably.
Oh, yeah, they do M&M's with peanuts.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, but there you go. Listen, whatever you do, have a safe Halloween. I'm kind of surprised there's not candy all around the radio station, but it's a good thing. Because once you start eating that candy corn, it's like the Lay's potato chips. You can't eat just one. Thank you, Garrett. Thank you, Kristen. And thank you for listening and watching Rich Stevens TV.
Listen for election night results.